India is building up to the Women's T20 World Cup this year. Two very important series ahead of that. One is South Africa in South Africa, and then, of course, the England series in England. Trisha, when we talk about this South Africa series, before we get to talking about the squad, the selection calls, and everything else, I want to know, when you think of this series, how important is it in the larger perspective of the World Cup?
See, you have defeated England in England. You have defeated Australia in the T20 series. Now
it's
complete
time.
it. Finish. Get 3-0 up in South Africa.
Yeah.
And the South African squad has just been released. So if India doesn't win 3-0, I would be really, really sad, to be honest.
And when we think about the technicalities as well, what are you wanting to see here? Do you think this is a dress rehearsal?
Absolutely.
No, let me complete
Okay.
my question because I have something important to ask. That's all. Do you think this is a time to experiment? Maybe figure out a few more changes and get that squad built up, or do you think this is a much more experimentative approach that India can take in this series?
Yes, I think there are certain roles that India need to fix. For example, they have Bharti Fulmali, who was there in the Australia series, but you never really tried her.
Exactly.
Are you going to carry her in the T20 World Cup squad? If she is part of your T20 World Cup squad, you cannot expect her to suddenly come in and score runs in the World Cup. So you have to try her in this series and the England series to make sure that you know that she plays some part in the playing 11. And then, of course, Anushka Sharma, she has come in. You want to try her as well. And then you need to fix, which I think should be already be fixed, that Jemima at 3. So if Jemmy comes at 3, where does Anushka play?
Right.
If she needs to come, where does Bharti Fulmali feature? Because Anushka Sharma and Bharti Fulmali both are pure batters. They're not going to give you bowling. Where does someone like Kashvi Gautam comes? Because there's an Aman Jodhkar who will be waiting in the wings. Yes, she's not there in the South Africa series, but of course, she will be back. So someone like Kashvi can bat well. You need all-rounders. I think another person who was fabulous, one of the biggest reasons we won the Women's ODI World Cup, Deepti Sharma, of course. Deepti needs to be back in form.
Correct. So am I wrong to say, or am I right to say that you will prioritize combinations over winning in this series?
Absolutely, absolutely.
You don't care if throughout these experimentations, if India goes out and loses maybe a couple of matches.
Does not matter, even if you lose the series, to be honest. Though I find it very difficult with the South Africa team that has been chosen, that India losing the series, but still, right now I don't think results matter. In the matches against England and in the matches against South Africa, it barely matters what is the result. What matters is, have you got your combinations right?
Yeah.
Have you got your 6 bowlers right? That, you know what, we need all-rounders to make it 6 bowlers. How well can Renuka withstand the test of time? And when I say test of time, we know she has been prone to injury.
Injuries.
So how much do you make her play? Do you
Does workload management
exactly
come into play here?
And it has to.
Yeah.
Because you want Renuka there to be there for the World Cup. If that means one match in this series, one match in the next series, who cares? You want the best team to be there for the World Cup. So I think a lot to be strategized and worked on, and I completely agree with you that the result just does not matter.
And I want to talk to you in depth about Harmanpreet Kaur. We'll get to that, but before that, the maiden call-ups. Anushka Sharma, Kashvi Gautam. How excited are you to see these young talents? I think a couple of years ago is when they first, came up in the WPL. Kashvi Gautam was one that we were talking about constantly, and then going for that high bid in the auction. I think we were all sort of, having this surreal moment that, because us growing up, we never imagined a women's WPL happening, let alone, someone going for a 6 crore, 7 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kashvi is someone who first caught my eye with a beautiful Yorker she bowled in one of the domestic games. And as a pace bowler myself, I love seeing another pacer executing the Yorker so well. And then she came out to bat and she played some very good strokes. And I thought this girl is the one to watch out for. And the next you see is I think Nushin Al Kadir and Mithali Raj were there in Gujarat Giants when Kashvi went
Yes.
for 2 crores.
Yes.
Unfortunately, she could not play that season because of injury. But I clearly remember that when she went for 2 crores, I kind of was absolutely elated because, as you said, we have never
Uncapped.
imagined. Exactly.
She was
We have
uncapped.
never imagined that an uncapped player can go for 2 crores. We had never imagined the WPL. That is
Exactly.
true. But we had hoped and dreamt for. So it was lovely. As far as Anushka is concerned, you know, Anushka was that player in the Gujarat Giants team this year who, see, Gujarat Giants ideally over the years has been dependent on their foreigners. Anushka came, made a place for herself, and you could not replace her.
Yeah.
Then she was taken to the India A2. There also she played some very good knocks. So it seems like it's the right time to bring her in the T20 setup.
Absolutely.
And what an exciting time it would be to see Anushka perform.
While we talk about the younger players, we also have the veterans. There will be a Harmanpreet Kaur. There will be a
Smriti Mandhana.
Mandhana. I don't know. Oh, I just compiled 2-3 names and made a new player. There will be a Jemima. But Harmanpreet, unfortunately, in the last World Cup as well, while she was there full capacity as a captain, her bat was silent throughout. How important is it for Harmanpreet to lead with the bat in this campaign?
Oh, it will be very important. Number 4 in T20s is extremely important. She's one of those 6 hitters as well. So I think Harman, the batter's role, will be much more in the T20 setup than it was in the one day setup.
Right.
If India has to win this World Cup, Harman's bat has to speak. Yes, Harman prefers World Cups than bilateral series as far as scoring is concerned. But to be fair, you know, she comes at that juncture because number 4 is that juncture where you have built the innings and now you're pushing for the accelerator.
And sometimes it happens if there is a top order collapse,
Yes.
which means you have to now build the innings.
Absolutely. And I think Harman can change gears, but can she do that on a consistent basis? But this question has been there throughout her career.
Yeah.
For her 171, for her 100 against New Zealand in the World Cup, or an 89 in against Australia in the semis. If you actually look at Harman's career in the bigger picture, she has not been consistent enough. Let's hope she carries the WPL form because that would be extremely important.
It will be, and I also want to talk about the exclusions. Sneha Rana, how did you feel when you first saw that list and Sneha Rana was not in the squad? Were you expecting that? Also, Amanjot Kaur.
See, Amanjot, I think, must have been rested. I don't think she's dropped. Sneha Rana, yes, I did. I think since the 2025 ODI World Cup Pakistan match, when it comes to bowling, Sneha Rana was not in her best. And I did think with Charni, the kind of performances that Sri Charni was coming up with, I thought Sneha Rana was going to find it difficult. And again, nobody needs to write that Charni is a left armer and Sneha is right armer, of course. But off spinners, you already have Deepti Sharma, who's your sure shot in the playing 11, right? And in England, how many spinners are you going to play? You're going to play Deepti. Sharni, the way she has bowled in WPL, in the Australia series, she's there, of course. The other one, after WPL performance, you had to have Sriyanka. So I think you can't have 3 off spinners.
No.
And you knew that Sneha Rana was the one who was going to take that brunt. But knowing Sneha Rana, I think she's going to make a comeback. Not this T20 World Cup seems very tough. I think the spin bowling is these 3 people, Deepti, Charni and Sriyanka. I'm actually glad that they have not stuck with Vaishnavi. Nothing against her, but I think she needs a little more time. Much like I'm glad that they have not fast-tracked someone like Nandini Sharma, who was excellent in WPL. I would want Nandini to play one more season before you fast-track her because you don't want to bring someone raw and scare the person.
Yeah. You don't want to scar them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that is where I think the spin combination, Garge, is what is going to England for the World Cup, is what I feel.
At the top, Smriti Mandhana, Shafali Verma. How are you?
They are going to win you matches. They have to win you the
They're
matches.
the key. I think they'll be the key in this World Cup. just how, if you talk about men's cricket, Abhishek Sharma
Yeah.
and Sanju Samson, the latter half of the tournament was largely, built by them.
Absolutely, and I think that is where Shafali has to do well. She has to stop scoring those quick 20s and get out. The 40s, 50s will be needed. Smriti is generally consistent in bilateral. Something happens in the ICC tournament, that I hope will change this time round.
Yeah.
A lot of people said that, oh, you know what, WPL final she scored seems like she's done with the eliminator scare or something of that sort, and I hope so, because Smriti is your best batter. You can just be it ODIs, be it T20Is. Currently in the Indian squad, your best batter is Smriti. But I think if you have to win the World Cup, I think if you have to do well in the World Cup, I would say three batters need to really do well. Smriti Mandhana, Shafali Verma, as you said, and I will quietly add a Bengali name right there. Richa Ghosh. Yes, I think extremely important player.
Yeah, in the middle orders, if Richa and Jemima are not doing it, then it's going to be really difficult because Shafali Verma will go out there, she'll tonk.
Yeah, Shafali's role, people have to understand in T20 specifically, is to use the power play overs.
It's high risk, high reward.
Absolutely, it is not to play a longer, longer innings. That is more on Smriti, and then Smriti to be joined by someone like Jamainama. Then there is Harman, and then again it comes Richa. Last 3-4 overs, you tonk every ball out of the park, and anybody who has any doubt how big Richa can hit, let me promise you, she can cross any boundary line, in South Africa, in England, in any country for that
Maybe
matter.
in the coming years, we'll have to also, push
Get the
boundary back.
For Richa, you have to make special provisions then.
But now let's talk about South Africa. Led by Laura Woolward. How strong is this side?
If I look at South Africa, not this squad alone, if I look at South Africa in the bigger picture, I think they're very strong.
Yeah.
And the way, now add to it, Gargi, they have recently got their central contracts. Back-to-back good performances. Yes, for all the choker tag that you give, you're not going to tell me that it's easy for a team to reach finals after finals after
of
finals.
course.
Yes, they might have not won it, but they have done that over the years. And imagine they did not even have a contract. They've got the contracts now. They will come back full force. And very interestingly, they have made this change where Sune Lu is opening. It's not Woolward opening anymore. Woolward is coming in at number 3. And see what WPL does. When Woolward was selected in Delhi Capitals, we were all confused that you have a Shafali.
Yeah.
You have Lizelle Lee. Where will Laura Woolward come? And if Laura comes at 3, where will Jemmy come, who's supposed to come at 3?
Yeah.
And it has been changed. And ever since Laura Woolward has come to number 3, she has changed her game completely. She has become she's playing the role that Rajat Patidar is playing for an RCB, going all guns blazing. She's not consistent anymore. That's understandable, high risk game.
T20.
And then South Africa has got some very, very good players. For example, Reneke.
Yeah.
Oh,
No Marizan cap. How big of a factor will that be?
maybe in this series. But if I'm being very honest, I was telling this to Snehashish, my partner in crime generally, when it comes to women's cricket, that I do have a feeling South Africa is now saving their players for the World Cup.
I think so too. Absolutely. Otherwise, she doesn't have an injury. There's no reason why Marizan cap should
She
be
had
out.
taken a bit of leave because of the chronic heart disease that she has. But she has started training. She will be back.
She's been rested, I think.
Yes, and she's hungry. Somebody from the South African team itself said that she's hungry, and Snehashish and I were like, when is Marizan Cap not hungry,
Exactly.
So, but also think of this, they have finishers like Nadine de Klerk, they have Chloe Tryon,
Aya
they now
Bonga.
have Reneke,
Yeah.
and just by the way, Sinolo Jafta wasn't that big a batter. Recently, she has worked hard with the strength and conditioning coach, and she's also hitting big shots. This series, I think the bowling for South Africa is weak, Because what South Africa ideally has done is has rested all their main bowlers. You know, be it A team, if you look at South Africa A team, their bowlers are also rested. Look at South Africa B team, that also is rested. So I think mostly C team bowlers are playing. That way, good practice for Indian batters. But also, Indian bowlers have to make sure that they don't lose that. They don't lose their confidence, because South Africa batters are going to come all guns blazing.
So let me ask my final question. When it comes to conditions, South Africa is quite different from England. But at this point, how do you carry that momentum into England in this series?
I think what we discussed, beginning of the of this episode, I feel the momentum that you would want to carry is not how many runs you scored, but have you got your
Playing 11.
playing 11 ticked?
Yeah.
Have you got your best playing 11? In fact, I'll go one step forward and say best 13, because you want that best 13 there, and then two more as a backup wicketkeeper, backup all rounder maybe. So first things first, you have to tick the box for the playing 13, and who plays in which position. Does Jemmy still play at 3? Which I think she should. If Jemmy plays at 3, Harman at 4, who goes at 5? Is it Deepti? Is it Richa?
Exactly.
Because Richa's role in the ODI World Cup was 5-6
Finishing.
overs.
Yeah.
Are you sticking to that role? Are you going to send her up the order?
Maybe
These
give
are the
her some
questions.
more,
Exactly.
Overs to.
Exactly. So where does Deepti play?
Yeah.
So if, say, in the power play you lose 3 wickets, does Deepti come up? So these are the questions I think that need to be answered. Who are your death over bowlers? That becomes important.
Very important.
So I think these are the questions. I'm sure Amol Mazumdar has a full checklist there, and he'll be sitting and ticking. These few matches are about those box ticks more than the series result.
For this Indian team, it will be about whether or not the team is firing as a unit. I think that will be the priority there before they head to England for another white ball series, and then finally the T20 World Cup that we're all excitedly waiting for. Thank you so much, Trisha, and thank you to everyone who watched. And also thank you to Shaporji Palonji for hosting us here at Joyville in Hadapsar in Pune. So we've come from Kolkata to now Pune.
And it's such a huge facility which is growing, much like women's cricket is growing every day.
There you go. No better way to end the show than this. Thank you so much.